the physical aspect of this movie was something that I felt very challenged by.
With Charlize, she's right on with everything she does. She's so easily adjustable. When we started teaching her the gymnastics, she took to it like she'd been doing it for years and years and years, So, but she comes from a dancing background also, so she's very physical. And being a model, I think she has a real understanding of her body and where her body is at all times and how to adjust it to make it look the right way, or the way the audience wants to see it.
There it is. That's it.
Arch your back, don't roll your back. And we spent about 3 months working with Charlize on just movement and training, just trying to get her strong enough to do a lot of the movement that we wanted to do with her.
It was something that, I don't know, I got very excited about, to see how far I could actually push myself and how many new things I could learn to do on my own on this film, and to really physically feel like I was this character, to not just go, well, I'll just do this and let the stunt people do that. I mean, physically, I got excited about pushing my body to that limit.
She trained for months before we started shooting. Charlize worked in kind of I guess a sort of interdisciplinary way. She worked in a kind of gymnastic way. She worked in capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial art. She worked just on sort of specific stunts over and over again so that she could do them herself. Her training was intense. It was definitely a sort of strength, speed, agility training, which is hours of every day.
I trained for about 3.5, 4 months with Charlie Crockwell, who's the stunt coordinator, and his crew, Mika and Terry. And Terry performed with Cirque du Soleil for 20 years, and he really helped me with the gymnastics and acrobatic work and trampoline work and wire work. I had done Monster and didn't do anything with my body for 2 years. So physically, even though I lost the weight, I had to really go and build some muscle back and get some strength back and just get physically to a place where I felt stronger and capable of doing the things that I had to do in this film.
I think if you're naturally flexible, you have a tendency to stay that way or stay close to being flexible. You don't let it fall apart.
You ready?
And she didn't. She's always kept in good shape. You can see with Monster what she did to herself, and she got her weight down quickly. We took off some of what was the residual that was left from Monster, but she was determined to get into great shape for this picture, and she did a great job doing it. We spent 6 months with Karin, just discussing the picture and the character and the way the character moves, and not just Charlize, but Sophie and all of the other actors as well.
Charlize had already started training before I got cast, so I had to kind of catch up quite quickly. And about 5 weeks before we started filming, I arrived in Berlin and started a training regime, which was incredibly enjoyable, but after about the 3rd week, I was beginning to think, what have I let myself in for?
3, 2, 1.
I didn't let them know that I was quite scared of heights. When I got the part, they said, you first? Yes, I'm very, very fit. And you kind of had an attitude to say, yes, I can do everything. Yes, I can ride a horse. And just so you can get the part. And I didn't let them know that I was quite scared of heights. And on the first day I got here, I was kind of 50 foot up on a wire, having to leap off into midair. And it certainly cured my fear of heights.
Action, Billy! Well!
I've never in my life played anything like this, and so it's all completely new to me.
Yeah! Oh, that was so cool!
It was interesting because they were both worried sick about the other one at the beginning. There was almost a competition, because Charlize would ask me, well, how's Sophie doing? What's Sophie, when does Sophie begin her training? And what are you going to start with Sophie? And then Sophie would say the same thing about Charlize. And so I had to constantly go, oh, no, well, Charlize is nowhere near what you are. And then Charlize, oh, no, Sophie's nowhere near what you are. But they're two completely different people, and there's no way you could really ever compare them, because one can do one thing and one can do another thing. Although we had to get to a place where Charlize plays Sophie's mentor. So there has to be something in Sophie's movement that is kind of reminiscent of her training with Charlize. And that's where a lot of the kind of the animal, more insect-like qualities come from. So there are places that we've worked those things into, but it's not in your face, really strong and apparent that it's there. It all comes from training. You really have to look at the actor and assess them and see what kind of abilities they just naturally have and what you can train them to do, and then work off of those strengths, I think, and trying to put that into the film.
Not everyone has that ability to delve into a character on not only an intellectual and a dramatic level, but on a physical level. Our stunt people were astonished that she outperformed the stunt people. 95% of the stunts you see in the film were performed by Charlize. She's completely aware of where her body is and has an elegance and a quickness that I've just never seen before, nor had our stunt coordinators.
It was important to me to know that if I could believe myself in doing these things, then it wasn't so futuristic, then it wasn't so unrealistic. And those are the questions that I ask myself every time we do a stunt, you know. I know I'm being helped by a wire, or I know I have, you know, mats around me and there's a secure blanket around it, but to know that you can actually get as close as you possibly can to doing it, I think helps tremendously with playing a character like this.
For the fight scene, it's basically a fight between my character Freya and Charlize's character Aeon. And I had to undergo some training because never done anything like this. I have to jump from, I think, a 15 to 20 foot balcony. So yeah, I had to train for the jumping off the balcony. And every morning, the team of trainers, the stunt team, who are fantastic on this job, they'd lead me through some stretches and some physical strength exercises, just so that, you know, I can take all the force that's going to be thrown at me on the day.
We combined a lot of things. We combined capoeira with Krav Maga. I mean, all kinds, judo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, a lot of just down and dirty street fighting, finishing holds we've laid into this. So it's one particular kill. It could be 3 different arts combined.
And for me, it's great because I've never done anything action-related. I always wanted to. So this is a great opportunity for me.
It's, you know, it's been quite exciting, really, and quite exhausting.
And now!
You know what's nice about this picture is that the action isn't being done for action's sake. It's being done because it motivates the story, or it moves the story along. And I much prefer that, because in watching the picture, you don't say, oh, there's a stunt, because they wanted to blow something up. And that's what I like about this, is it really fits into the story. Hopefully you don't have any idea. The people watching go, where were the stunts? I don't remember the stunts. All that movement stuff, all the people falling and killing, and, you know, we're all stunts.